Hey, everybody. Okay, so what I want to talk about tonight is after I did the video where I talked about, I did that video and I said, I don't want your man. I don't want somebody else's man. If he's with you and he's in my face, he's not good enough for me. And the question was brought up to me. Well, what if, there's really strong feelings and, you love each other, that was brought up to me. And I wanted to, explain it for the benefit of multiple people. Okay. Because there's a deeper understanding that goes into that. Okay. And this is what it is. When people are broken, the perspective that they come from with the reasons, their motives, okay, this is the things that people don't look at. They don't look at their motives behind what they do on a deeper level to understand the true reason of why they do it. Okay. So when a person, I'm gonna just say this flat out. So if a man is with someone else and he is, trying to come towards me, let me explain this. What I understand is that he's not coming towards me because he necessarily wants another person. Okay, there's something deeper that goes on when we stray from relationships. He may not want another person as much as he wants another self. Okay, because this is a truth that a lot of people don't want to face because they have this whole fantasy fairy tale of being saved and rescued emotionally and brought into happiness that they didn't have before by love. And this is the basis and the foundation of the fairy tale of love. Okay, that's not reality. When a person is, this is a truth that people don't really want to look at. You could actually be happy and build a great relationship with practically anybody. Oh, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to acknowledge that truth. With anyone that is there with you and you're both wanting to do that. Okay, you can't do it if one person doesn't want to do it. You can do it if you're there and you both want to do it. But here's the thing, okay? If a person is straying from a relationship, it's not that they have to leave that other person. I understand that. They're not necessarily when they're looking for another person, they don't know themselves. Okay, they're not aware enough of themselves. So they think that it's about this other person and them needing to leave this other person. When it's really what they're wanting to leave is a part of themselves. Okay, so what they are leaving, in dealing with someone else is not the other person. It's a way that they want to betray themselves. It's a way that they want to get away from another part of themselves, and they want to experience another self. They're looking for another self. So if a man comes to me looking for another self, I'm not available. See, because this is the thing. If it was true love, if you really didn't want to be there, you would have already dealt with that. So I don't see it that way. So if you're with someone else and you're coming to deal with me, you're looking for another self. And I don't want to be a part of that. Because you're using me to search out another self that you want to be. Well, you could become that self where you are. But you don't know yourself well enough, so you want to come over here and be with me to seek out that other self that is suppressed or whatever the reasons being, because those reasons are different for why that person is not experiencing that aspect of themselves where they are. Okay, so they're rejecting themselves. Okay, so I don't want to be a part of that. I would rather a person be whole, know who they are, dealt with any of their situations, and want to be with me because that's where they want to be, not in seeking out something else while they still have something else going, which tells me that's a huge red flag for me, because it tells me that what you're seeking is there's a deeper issue to why you're seeking. And I don't want to get caught up in that because I love myself. Okay, so I don't want to subject myself to having to be a casualty of your internal war. So I refuse. Okay, so when I was asked that question, that's the deeper answer. Okay, because I'm not naive enough, and I'm not in need enough of love, or so depleted enough within myself that when you come towards me, I'm gonna see it any different for what it truly is. I'm not gonna make up a story or create a story around it. I don't need that. I don't need that to satisfy myself. I'm not trying to meet some need within myself. I don't not love myself enough to not protect myself from your internal war. Okay, because that's your thing. Like that guy, that's his thing. He needs to figure that out within himself. He can't use me as a new self, because this is the reason why I wouldn't do that too. Why I love myself enough to protect myself from that. Because if he comes over to me, and he's coming over to me from this other person because he's trying to experience a new self, he may want to actually be that self with her, but he may not be able to communicate, or there may be certain issues where he's not able to be that self with her to bring down whatever barriers is preventing him from being that self with her. And so he wants to come over to me to get a new experience and to be, he's looking for a new self of who he can be with me. But really, he wants to be it with her. So once he gets that new self, if he finds a way to be that new self with her, he will leave me to go be with her and be that new self, because that's who he really wanted to give that to in the first place. See, there's a lot of stuff that's not worked out when a person is in a situation with someone else and then they're coming over to somebody else. I don't take that as a compliment. I don't take that as anything more than what it is, because I don't put myself in a situation where I'm going to basically just be a casualty of someone else's internal war, and then I'm going to be abandoned because of I'm chasing, but that would be my own karmic cycle. If I was to be pursuing that or chasing that, that's my own karmic cycle. Okay, so when he hurts me, that I'm not mad, but I'm just saying, just to give a deeper understanding of why I said what I said. Now, it can also be a situation. This is why people leave from relationship to relationship. In karmic cycles, that is what you do. Okay, in karmic cycles, you go from relationship to relationship. And that's kind of the way it goes, because a part of the karmic cycle is you don't know yourself. Okay, so you are not aware that a lot of the things that you're looking at within this relationship, you're not understanding the mirror of it. You're not understanding yourself within it, what you're really looking for, what you're really needing, that you're really trying to birth another self, and that you could birth that where you are, and then things would improve. Instead, people look for something else. And so then they want to go birth it there, because they're unconscious. So they're running all of this unconscious, but they don't have enough consciousness to be fully aware of themselves in that way. At this point, I'm fully aware of myself in that way. Okay, so I don't have to do that. I'm not in that karmic pattern or karmic cycle. Okay, because I'm not even looking for relationships to make me happy. Okay, so once you even get out of that karmic cycle of where you have to learn to be the source of your own happiness, once you do that, you're not even looking for relationships to make you feel better, because you understand that they won't. So when you look at statistics and things like this, why do you think it is? Okay, if it's true what people say about leaving a relationship for so-called love that they think is love, but it's really just an unconscious pattern. They're really not aware of what they're really feeling or why or what's going on inside of them and their motives behind what they do. Okay, so you'll see that in first divorces, okay, the divorce rate is high, period, because of people's unconsciousness and lack of awareness of themselves. But then when you notice the second marriage has an even higher rate of divorce, well, why do you think that is? See, it is this karmic cycle of where people are looking for happiness through relationships, and they always feel like this next thing is going to make them happier, but it's not really about the other person. It is about the fact that they are trying to constantly birth these new versions of themselves, but they're in unconscious partnerships where they cannot birth those things together. Because you could really birth those things together. So this is why you could actually go through all of that with one person if you're both able to just continually birth the new version together, which is the situation between me and my twin, is where we just continually birth the new self with each other. Okay, so we've had little things which really, if you look at the truth of the matter, are very insignificant. But because they're very short, insignificant things where we're looking at this new aspect of ourselves. But what do we always do? We bring that new aspect back to each other. That's what we've always done for the past over 20 years. Okay, so I'm not willing to be that for someone else, for them to get a new self and birth this new self with someone and then go back and give it where they really want to give it. That's the karmic cycle. Now, I've been on both ends of the karmic cycle. Okay, that's the way it goes, until I was fully aware and understanding what I was doing. But that's what it is. Okay, so no, I am not willing to be a participant in anybody's third party situation. Okay, for that reason, because I understand the depth of why those types of things occur, and I'm just not willing to play that role. And so when I did the video about the karmic feminine versus the divine feminine, that's one of the major difference. The divine feminine is not willing to play those types of roles. She's not going to do it. She's not going to wait around for someone in some karmic energy, projecting her own relationship with her own masculine energy onto another person and then waiting on. She's not going to do that. The divine feminine does not wait, and she also does not participate in karmic cycles because she's broken them. But let me say this, I put this information out there to help people, but trust me, I understand how hard it is and how hard the path is. But this information helps, knowing helps. And I just want to say also that I congratulate all of you who are building in strength, who are growing, because it is painful, okay? Because the illusion of the ego has to die. You've associated so much with this, and a lot of times you've built up so much energy around it that to allow that to die is like pieces of yourself dying. And I understand that. So I commend all of you that are going through that rebirthing process as the divine feminine, and you're going through the pain and all of that. I understand it, but I just want to give some encouragement to continue, because you don't want to run from the pain, which is a part of the karmic cycle. See, because you don't want to face those things, you don't want to go through that pain, you don't want to go through all of that agony of truth, of the real truth of yourself, and what you're projecting outward, all of your unhealed things. It brings up pain from childhood, all of these different things. And you're getting to a place where you're not wanting to run from that and go on that karmic cycle to avoid that pain and just fantasize about a happier day. I want to commend you, and I want to tell you, I want to give you words of encouragement, because it gets better later. Go through the pain. Allow the pain to be released out of you, because as you go through that pain, it is getting released out of your energetic field. Okay, so it will stop affecting what you're attracting in. It does end. When you're in it, it can feel never ending. It can feel hopeless. That is not the truth. That is not the truth. It's just falsehood. It's a lot of lies, programming, societal things, karmic energy, all kinds of things that are playing a role in that create that illusion. Because the illusion that you're going to be hopeless, or that it's just going to be painful forever, that you can't survive it, that you can't get through it, that is a lie. Okay, and I want you to know it. So that's that word of encouragement, and also, an explanation for that question that was asked of me. Also, guys, remember, you can always do soul healing sessions with me. You can do coaching with me, where I can take you through the entire process every step of the way. And you can also do the 5 Hours to True Love boot camp, the Rise of the Divine Feminine boot camp. I have put so many things out, and things that are available to help you if you need it. Take advantage if you need it, okay? So that's that, guys. I'll talk to you later. Hope it was insightful. Bye.